Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, and we finally did it.
Mountain Man. Mountain Man.
Treasures.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. My name is Troy. I'm a reseller in Montana. I go to garage sales, I go to estate sales, thrift stores, sometimes retail stores. I buy stuff and sell it again online. Mostly I'm doing that on eBay. And well, my sales slump has continued. I don't know what's going on. We were selling really well, really, since probably about Thanksgiving or so. Sales have been about what I expected, Q4. They've slowed down. We had half of a good weekend, and then usually I have a pretty good Monday. It was okay. Tuesday, not great. Wednesday, not great. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I can't control that. I can just keep doing what I need to do. And so I'm listing stuff, and I'm buying a few things. I'm sending out offers. I'm leaving feedback. I'm doing all the things that show activity in the store. I've got something else I'm going to try here starting this afternoon. But that does, since we don't have a whole lot of sales to talk about, it does give me a chance to talk about something that I sold a little bit back, and I forgot to tell you about. We're going to do that. First, let's take a look at what sold over the last 2 days out of the store. Pretty quiet Monday in the store. We'll see what we can do to fix that, get some stuff listed today, and hopefully, well, we got an extra one. Hopefully, we get some sales out of that. The Hawks hasn't sold yet. The old Pac-Man logo. I think I've got a couple left in addition to that, but the Phoenix Suns did sell. $9.98 free shipping for this vintage NBA patch. I'll profit on those. We've got Rudolph and Clarice. Both of those sold. Well, they sold together as a set. That was $9.98 plus shipping on that. Then we've got a Pampered Chef piece back here. This is a nice one. Their strongest stoneware yet. It's a stone bar pan, still new in the box. Sold that for $50.56 plus shipping. Let's see, we'll do that one. Blodwin Pig, a head rings out. Vinyl, been sitting on my shelf for a while, but eventually found the right buyer. $18.87 plus shipping. And then we've got some Pokemon lights going to a buyer that bought a set before. And turns out they're going into a Pokemon-themed tattoo parlor. So that's pretty cool. These are going to be hanging up in there. Made them a deal on these of $60 plus shipping. And once again, not much going out today. Did they do an update a couple days ago? It happens every time they do an update at eBay. A lot of people have issues over the next few days with things just not selling. And I just wonder if there is some sort of update. That's what this feels like. I don't know. It'll be get back and going. It's just frustrating right now. We got an autograph here. Lucy. This is the voice actress for Lucy. And this sold for $19.19 plus shipping. Pretty cool. And these both going to the same buyer. We've got Jeff Beck, Wired. Don't know Jeff Beck, actually. And Elmo and Patsy singing Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, both on cassette tape. Both sold for $1.99 plus shipping to, like I said, the same buyer. Then we've got a Schleich horse here, a foal, I guess it is. And this sold for $6.99 plus shipping. I like selling those Schleich figures. And then this I just pulled the other day out of my pile. That's where I've been sourcing. I overbought during the garage sale season because I know that it's a long off season. And so now I'm selling the stuff that I am just listing from garage sales this summer. This actually only lasted a few days. This has a very good sell-through rate. You can see that it's yellowed. This used to be clear at some point, the plastic. So it's yellowed, but minus just a little ding down there in the plastic. It's still sealed. So this thing is still new in there. It's a remote vehicle starter. These things sell very, very well. And this one sold for $57.59 plus shipping. So, okay sales, right? I mean, any sale is a good sale. I just wish we had a few more of them. And I mentioned one that I forgot to tell you. It actually happened several weeks ago. I sort of put it to the side, and I kept meaning, oh, let's tell you. And I kept forgetting, mostly because we were so busy, and we had so many things selling to tell you about. But I finally sold something to a set, to a prop department. You see it time to time. A lot of movies, a lot of TV shows in particular, get on eBay and buy that vintage stuff to put on the set of their shows. And honestly, a lot of times I don't look at the addresses anymore, or at very, at the most, sometimes it's just a cursory glance. So it's possible that I would have sent to a studio before and just didn't know it. I take that back. I've sent to one. It wasn't a studio. It was I guess a production company in California. They do primarily commercials and music videos. I sent a pair of vintage Everlast boxing gloves, but never to to a TV show, right? Until just recently. And what happened is, actually while I was on vacation, it was while I was away, they sent a message saying, hey, I noticed that we're not going to get this for, it was like, I don't remember. It was a couple weeks because they bought it while I was gone. And then it had to get international. They're based up in Canada, up in Vancouver. A lot of TV done up in Vancouver. And they said, hey, any way we could get it out a little bit faster. And it was right as I was getting back. I think it was the next day. And so I got back, and Mountain Mama says, hey, you got this in here, take a look at it. And so I messaged them and said, yeah, we'll get that out. I'll do it on Saturday. I got back late Friday night. I could do this on Saturday for them. And worth mentioning, I suppose, they said, hey, what we'll let you do is we paid the shipping. Go ahead and keep that as a courtesy for the hassle of us trying to get it sooner. Keep the shipping, but we have a FedEx account. Can you please use that? We'll get a discount and we can get it more quickly. I've had that happen before. The Everlast boxing gloves went that way, and a couple of other times. And so for newer resellers, sometimes that might throw up a flag of, hey, wait a minute, I don't know, can I use? Yeah, you can. As long as it's going to have a tracking number. eBay doesn't necessarily care where the label comes from. That's why you can go to Pirate Ship and buy a label and ship it out that way, right? As long as eBay has a tracking number, you're good. And so what she did is she gave me their FedEx account number. And I'd never done it that way before. Previously, they've sent me a label, and then I was able to print out the PDF and attach that. This time, she just gave me an account number. And so I went to the office and said, hey, I've got this account number. Here's my order so you can see I'm not just making this up. Here's the order. Can you help me out with this? And the lady said, oh, yeah, sure. And so gave them the FedEx account number, and it goes right to the studio. And they ended up paying because this was a Saturday afternoon, and they wanted it as soon as possible because she said, we actually have an actor fitting next week, and we'd like it to be here for the fitting. And so I said, yeah, let's make that happen. What they actually ended up paying for it was $94 to get it shipped from here in Montana to Canada, which is actually a relatively short trip. But it made it here Saturday afternoon here in Montana. They opened it Monday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening in Canada. It got there fast. But I guess money's not an object for a production company, right? When they find the thing they want. And I guess I should tell you what that thing is. There it is up there. There's a picture of it. It was just a fishing vest. It's a vintage fishing vest. I found this one actually with my mom when I was in Billings, and we actually, I picked it up and set it down, and she picked it up, and we looked at it and thought, yeah, it's $1, right? Why not? Let's pick it up. It was pretty cool. It had a little creel that was in a little zipper on the bottom and attached to it. I hadn't seen one like that before, and it was just really interesting. It looked basically like new old stock. I don't think anybody ever wore it. And so it was a really cool look, and I thought, you know what, for $1, let's give it a shot. It wasn't worth a whole lot, right? I mean, we didn't sell it for a ton. They paid way more in shipping, but apparently it's the look they want. And now you're wondering, you're screaming, what's the show? What's the show? It's Yellow Jackets. I've never seen it. It's only been out one season. I believe it's a Showtime show, but it's got really good reviews. It's got Christina Ricci is one of the main characters, I believe, or one of the biggest name anyway on the show. So that's pretty cool. So I guess if anybody watches Yellow Jackets coming back for season 2, I guess whenever it comes back, if you see somebody wearing a vintage fishing vest, it came from here in the mountain. See if I can't get a garage sale video put together here soon. I've got to work on getting the eBay thing back up and going, so I'll try to get you a video. I mentioned, I guess, at the front end, hey, I'm going to try and do something else to get my sales going. I'm going to list some video games. Video games are generally things that sell pretty well. And so, I don't have a ton of them in my death pile because I usually list them right away. They're easy listers. But what I do have is a whole bunch of scratched video games, or at least 2 scratched. I wasn't sure about them. They weren't super clean. And so I did last year buy a JFJ Easy Pro, and I just haven't unpacked it yet. I haven't had the time. So what that, if you're not familiar what that does, it's basically something that resurfaces the discs without getting into the technical details of it. It cleans scratch discs. And so I've got to get that thing set up. I've been putting it off. I got to get that thing set up. I got to clean these discs because they're good. I've got Wii Sports Resort, Mario Kart, Mario Brothers, Need for Speed, a couple of desirable titles. I think there's a Mortal Kombat in there. There's a lot of good games and games that'll sell. I just need to get them cleaned so that I can get them listed. So that's the project over the next couple of days. So we'll see. Hopefully that gets the sales back up and going.